Class number 20, welcome back to a new class, class number 20, which means we're progressing. We're entering the 20s, finally. And there are 65 classes in this first quarter. This program consists of 3 quarters for you, three-month periods, a 9-month academic year. And we're not halfway yet in the first quarter. We still have a long way to go. We still have a long way to go. We still have a long way to go. But if you make an effort, I'll make an effort. If you study, I'll teach. If you come every day, I'll come every day. If you pay attention, I'll teach as well as I can. If you show perseverance, I'll show perseverance. If you give everything you have, I'll give everything I have. If you make an honest effort, I'll make an honest effort. Todo esto es el futuro del condicional. Está condicionado a que tú hagas un esfuerzo para que yo sí haga uno también. If you make un esfuerzo honesto, he dicho. If you make an honest effort, I'll make an honest effort too. Okay? Well, let's continue with future conditional, going over what we saw in the last class in camera number 1, okay? All right. If it doesn't rain tomorrow, I'll go to the beach. But if it rains, I won't. If you make an effort, I'll make an effort too. But if you don't, I won't. If you make an effort, you'll learn. If you don't, you won't. If you work hard in life, you'll probably succeed. If you don't, you probably won't. If you fly to Barcelona, you'll reach your destination in about an hour. But if you don't, you won't. Okay? If you play the Christmas lottery, you'll possibly win some money. But if you don't, you won't. If you drink 2 liters of whiskey, you'll get drunk. But if you don't, you won't. If you take a walk in the park, you'll breathe fresh air. But if you don't, you won't. If you get married, you'll have to register the marriage in the legal courts. But if you don't, you won't. Okay. En estas segundas frases que estoy diciendo, que entendéis perfectamente por dónde van los tiros, es un uso curioso que sabréis posiblemente, el uso dinámico de los verbos auxiliares para comunicarnos. Se entiende. If you get married tomorrow, you'll need to go to the city court. Juzgados de la ciudad. But if you don't, y se entiende get married, you won't, se entiende go, ir a los tribunales o al juzgado. Okay? Matrimonial. So, if you watch this program every day, your ear will improve. But if you don't, it won't. All right? If you are humble and keep your eyes and ears open, you'll learn. But if you don't, you probably won't. Now, if you win the Christmas lottery, if you win the first prize in the Christmas lottery, you'll make a lot of money. But if you don't, you won't, unless you earn the second prize. Okay? Now, if you fly to New York, you'll reach your destination in about 7 hours. But if you don't fly there, you won't reach your destination goes off a cliff and falls 200 meters, it will be destroyed. But if it doesn't, it won't. All right? If I leave this cup here for 1 week, the water will evaporate. But if I don't, it won't. All right? Condicional del futuro. Si yo hago cierta cosa, otra cosa sucederá. Ok? Presente más futuro. Es el futuro del condicional. Si lo haces, lo haré yo también. Si no lo haces, tampoco lo haré yo. Ok? That's the future. It's very simple. It's the same in English as in Spanish. Con la excepción de que en español tenéis la manía muchas veces de usar presente. Si me llamas si me lo recuerdas, lo hago. Pues en inglés no. Si me lo recuerdas, lo haré. Siempre futuro en la segunda parte. Present conditional, si me recordaras, lo haría. Past conditional, si me hubieras recordado, lo habría hecho. Okay, if you reminded me, I would do it. If you had reminded me yesterday, I would have done it. Okay? If you pay me, I'll come tomorrow. If you paid me now, I would come every day. If you had paid me yesterday, I would have come. All right? And if you don't pay me, I won't come. If you didn't pay me now, I wouldn't come. If you hadn't paid me yesterday, I wouldn't have come. We'll continue for many classes, not necessarily the next ones, continuing with the conditional. All right. See you in a few minutes.
Will you visit them if you have time, DKC?
Yes, I'll visit them if I have time.
Yes, I'll visit them if I have time. One more time.
Yes, I'll visit them if I have time.
Perfect. One more time.
Yes, I'll visit them if I have time.
Very good. Okay. In casa, will you visit them if you have time? DKC, yes, I'll visit them if I have time. I'll visit them if I have time. Or you can say, I'll visit them. I'll visit them if I have time. Very good. Okay. Will you buy it if it's on sale? Está de rebajas, yeah? Will you buy it if it's on sale, DKC?
Yes, I'll buy it if it's on sale.
Very good. Repeat.
Yes, I'll buy it if it's on sale.
Very good. Okay, in casa, will you buy it if it's on sale, DKC? DKC. Will you buy it if it's on sale? Yes, I'll buy it if it's on sale. Perfect. Okay, one more. Will you take yours if I take mine? Will you take yours if I take mine? DKC?
Yes, I'll take mine if you take yours.
Okay, very good. Repeat.
Yes, I'll take mine if you take yours.
Perfect. Okay. Will you take yours if I take mine? Yes, I'll take mine if you take yours. Perfect. Okay. Now let's move on to the next subject, which is numbers in context. Numbers in context. So it's like a number dictation, but the numbers will appear within the context of a sentence. Okay? So I will give you the sentence, and I want you to write down the number, and then I'll ask you a question. Yeah? For example, the first one. There are, now let me count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, right. There are 479,792 people watching this program. Can you believe it? I'm going to say it again. There are 479,792 people watching this program. Es un éxito, ¿no? Bien, okay. Now, show the audience what you've written, and unfortunately it's not correct. I'll say it again. 479,792. There's a 0 there which shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So what? You write it down one more time. 479,000. I counted them all.
Yeah.
It's true. Okay, I think you have it correctly now, so can you say it? So how many people are there watching this program?
There are 479,792 people.
Watching this program?
Watching this program.
Wow, fantastic. Okay, the next one. Now, there are... Oh, sorry, you're not ready. Are you ready now?
Yes.
¿En casa estáis listos? Bien, okay. There are 250,842 words in the English language. Have you got that? Yeah? Wow, that's fantastic. I didn't even need to repeat it that time. So, and it's correct. So, how many words are there in the English language?
There are 250,842 words in the English language.
Perfecto, muy bien. I'm not sure if that is true. It's around that number, but I'm not so sure. Okay, so it's very, very important to practice numbers, and numbers in context. It's slightly more difficult, but you have to do it. Do you find numbers easy?
Well, more or less.
You seem to do very, very well that time. The first one was incorrect, the second one was perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to hand you back to Richard, so please practice at home. It's very, very important, okay? And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, welcome back. Will you continue watching this program if I disappear? Will you continue benefiting from these classes if a person replaces me? Will you pay attention to me if I start talking too fast? Will you understand me better if I decide to speak more slowly? All right. Will you enjoy this class if I lose my drive to teach it? Will you change to camera 1 with me if I decide to change? Yes? Okay. Then let's change, okay? Will you watch this program tomorrow if it starts raining? Okay. Es curioso. Estoy formulando preguntas ahora con el futuro del condicional otra vez. Y estoy diciendo, ¿verás este programa mañana si llueve? Si yo digo, ¿ves este programa mañana si llueve? Está mal. Sin embargo, diciéndolo en afirmativo, no. Si llueve mañana, no veo este programa. Okay? En vez de no veré. Es igual de correcto. But in English, no. Will, always in the future. Will you watch this program if it's boring? Will you continue with this course if you find it boring? Will the President of Spain retire if he loses his eyesight? What do you think? Will the President of Spain retire if he loses his eyesight? Will the President of Spain step down? Retire realmente es jubilarse, más que retirarse del cargo. Dimitir, o salir del cargo, is to step down. Como dar un paso. To step up, Imaginad que el presidente está en una plataforma y da un paso para abajo, a otro nivel. That's a step down. To step down es una dimisión formal y por motivos, por ejemplo, de salud, to step down. If the president of Spain loses a lot of popular support, do you think he'll step down? If the president of Spain makes some clear mistakes, do you think he'll resign, dimitir, or step down? Do you think he'll resign? If the president of Spain, loses control of his collaborators in his cabinet, su gabinete, su consejo ministerial, if he loses control of his cabinet and close collaborators, do you think he'll step down or resign? If the president of Spain is clearly caught in a corruption scandal, do you think he'll step down? If the president of Spain is caught in a sex scandal, do you think he'll step down? Do you think he'll resign? If the president of Spain wins the Christmas lottery, first prize, do you think he'll keep the money? Okay. If the president of Spain receives as a gift an original Picasso, do you think he'll give it to the national patrimony? If the president of Spain makes a serious mistake, do you think he will apologize to the nation? If the president of Spain fires all his ministers in one day, do you think it will cause a scandal? If the president of Spain dies in office, will the vice president take over for him? If there are 2 or 3 vice presidents, if the president of Spain dies, which vice president will take over for him? Okay. If Spain has elections tomorrow, will the current president be re-elected? If Spain has elections next year, do you think the current president will be re-elected? If the president of Spain decides not to run for office in the next elections, to run es presentarse para el cargo. If the president of Spain decides not to run for office, not to run for president in the next elections, will you run? Will you declare your candidacy? All right. If you don't learn English in this program, will you be disappointed? Will you be disappointed if I decide to turn over my duties to another teacher? Fijaos en cómo he dicho esta frase. Will you be disappointed? ¿Estarás decepcionado? Will you be disappointed if I turn over my duties to another person? Esa persona me releva del cargo de mis deberes aquí. Yo le cedo o le doy, le paso. Se dice to turn over. Curiosa expresión, como hace. To turn over es así. To turn over. En la cama, cuando you're trying to sleep, you turn over. Turn over one way, you turn over. Turn over. Boca abajo, turn over. Boca arriba, turn it back over. But to turn over my responsibility, Kevin, here, for you. And I turn over my responsibilities to another person. If the current president of Spain decided to step down, would he turn over his responsibilities to you? All right. Will you, in the next week, if I decide to turn over my responsibilities to another teacher next week, will you be angry? Yeah. Will you be disappointed? Will you be upset? Will you write a letter to Vaughan? All right. Or to Aprende Inglés TV? Yeah. If you drink, what will happen to you if you drink a bottle of whiskey tonight after this class? What will happen if everybody in Spain decides to stop paying taxes? Yeah. a tax revolt. La revuelta. Will I be here next year if my health holds up? Will I be a good teacher in 10 years if I stay in good health? Probably, all right? Will I enjoy teaching in the future if I start to lose my health? Probably not. The future conditional. We'll continue with it another day and see you in a few minutes after the next teacher.
Thank you, Richard. I'm Natasha, as you know, and today I'm here with a student that's going to help you a lot because she studies a lot before the class, so she'll get everything right. Isn't that right, Christina? Yes, will you get everything right?
I would, yeah, I will try.
Of course you will. You have to be positive. Yeah. So I'll ask you again. Will you get everything right?
Yeah, I will.
And you at home, will you get everything right? Of course you will, because you studied a lot for today. I know you did, okay? All right, we're going to start straight away because there's a lot to be done, okay? We're going to review what Richard explained, what he explained just now, okay? As you know, we're going to review the first conditional, okay? We're going to review the negative of the first conditional. As always, remember to answer out loud any question I ask you and any question I ask Christina. Always practice at home, okay? All right, let's start. Are you ready?
I'm
okay,
ready.
always answer no. Whatever I ask you, no.
Okay.
You're going to be very negative today, okay? All right, will you go out if it rains?
No, I won't go out if it rains.
Very good pronunciation of won't, okay? Will, not contracted is won't, as if it had a U there, okay? No, I won't go out if it rains, okay?
I won't be able to help you if you don't tell me your version.
Okay, your version? What's another way of saying this? Your side of the story.
Okay.
Yeah? Your side of the story is tu versión. My side of the story is my version, basically, okay? Or mi versión, okay? So remember, tu lado del cuento is what we literally say, okay? So let's see if Cristina can say it again.
I won't be able to help you if you don't tell me your side of the
Story.
story.
Very good. Let's get people at home to repeat and then you'll repeat, okay? At home. Will you... Oh, no, sorry. No podré ayudarte si no me cuentas tu versión. So translate. Very good. I won't be able to help you if you don't tell me your side of the story. Let's get to Cristina to repeat one more time and she'll get it perfect, I'm sure.
I won't be able to help you if you don't tell me your side of the story.
Perfect. Okay, the next one is for you, Cristina, as well. Si no me lo explicas, no aprenderé.
If you don't explain it to me,
Very good.
I won't learn it.
I won't learn or
learn.
I won't learn it. Very, very good. Okay, the next one is for you at home, okay? No podremos ver el partido si hay un apagón. Okay, first of all, how do you say apagón? Blackout, okay? So, no podremos ver el partido si hay un apagón. Very good. We won't be able to watch the match or the football match or whatever if there's a blackout. We won't be able to watch the match if there's a blackout. Let's say again if Cristina can say it.
We won't be able to watch the match if there's a blackout.
Very good. The next one is for you, okay? No te multarán si conduces con cuidado.
Ay,
What is multar? How do you say multar? To fine.
eso.
Fine.
next month? Will you vote? Will you take the time to vote if there is a general election next month? Will you vote for one of the two parties if they are the only parties available? All right, on the lists. And will you vote in the morning or in the afternoon? When will you vote? Okay, and will you vote if it's raining cats and dogs? Imagine it's raining cats and dogs all day. If it's raining like that, will you vote? Will you go out to vote? Will you take the time to vote? Okay, and if I invite you to a nice restaurant tonight, will you accept? If I invite your wife to come along, will she come? If I invite you to the party, will you come with your wife? All right. Will you? If I decide to teach this program only at 11 o'clock at night, will you stay up to watch it? If I decide to program this hour only at 1 o'clock in the morning, will you stay up to watch it? Quedarse despierto, to stay up. To stay is permanecer arriba, levantado. Will you stay up to watch it? If I give this program only in the middle of the night, at 4 o'clock in the morning, will you wake up in the middle of the night to watch it? If I give you $1 million, will you say thank you? I hope so. All right. I'll be back in a few minutes, okay, and we'll close this program.
Thank you, Richard. Muchísimas gracias, Richard. Hi, everyone. I'm Hannah, and I'm here again with all of you to practice what Richard has just taught you. But first, let's say hello to my very special student for today. I have David here with me. Hi, David.
Hi, how are you?
Great. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, great. Well, I'm glad you're here. We're going to start with some vocabulary.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. How do we say vendedor?
Salesperson.
Okay, good. Repeat.
Salesperson.
Okay, good. Salesperson. Again.
Salesperson.
Okay, great. Salesperson. Hay una S, there's an S in the middle. Salesperson, but it's just one word, una palabra. Salesperson. Okay, great. Now, inevitable.
Unavoidable.
Good. Again, repeat.
Unavoidable.
Perfect. Great. Unavoidable. Unavoidable. Here we have a V. Unavoidable. Okay, so one word, unavoidable. Unavoidable. Inevitable. Okay, great. Now we have fondo or aguante.
Stamina.
Perfect. Great. Great pronunciation. David has great pronunciation. So let's see if you can follow his example with good pronunciation. So stamina. Stamina. The accent falls on the first syllable. Stamina. Stamina. Great. And now we have rematar.
To nail down.
Perfect. Great. Repeat.
To nail down.
Okay, great. So we have two words here. Verbo compuesto, phrasal verb. To nail down. To nail down. Okay, great. And finally, we have resolver.
To sort out.
Perfect. Repeat again.
To sort out.
Great, great. Again, otro verbo compuesto. To sort out. To sort out. Okay, great. Very good job. Excellent. All right, now we're going to continue looking at the first conditional, la primera condicional. And we're going to translate. All right, so just basic translation. So translate these sentences for me. And all of them are in the interrogative form, en interrogativo. Vendrán si les invitamos.
Will they come if we invite them?
Perfect. Repeat again. Great.
Will they come if we invite them?
Excellent. Very good. Will they come if we invite them? Okay, so remember here the question, we always begin with will. Okay, will. Empezamos la frase con el auxiliar, will. So will they come if we invite them? ¿Le llevarás si él no tiene coche?
Will you take him if he doesn't have a car?
Good, great. Again, repeat.
Will you take him if he doesn't have a car?
Great, excellent. will you take him if he doesn't have a car? And notice here, take him, take him. We connect him, justo, right at the end of take. And we put them together, we connect them with pronunciation as if it were just one word. Take him, take him. Okay? Now, a lot of Spaniards, they do the opposite. They say, take him, and put the emphasis on him. I guess you, right? Yeah. So, instead of saying, take him, we want take him, take him. Him queda muy cortita. Okay? The word queda muy cortita, la palabra him. Okay, saldrás si llueve.
Will you go out?
Excellent, muy bien. Will you start or begin también? Will you start the class if the students don't show up? Okay, so aparecer is a phrasal verb, verbo compuesto, to show up. Okay, so will you start the class if the students don't show up? Okay, so please don't forget when we use the first conditional after if, ponemos presente. Okay, so keep practicing and I'll see you next time. Now you have to go back to Richard. Bye-bye.
Okay. Class number 20. Tomorrow, class 21. In these classes, I'm constantly repeating the structures again and again and again. And the other teachers are doing basically the same thing. For a reason. For a reason. Learning a second language is not only a question of understanding the forms and practicing them 2 or 3 times to demonstrate that you can reproduce the sentence in front of a teacher in a classroom. That doesn't work. You have to repeat it or hear it 500 times. The structure has to become so familiar that you dream in the structure, and that's how you learn. Languages are absorbed. They aren't learned, okay? And we're going to help you absorb the language hasta que penetre por los poros. See you tomorrow.